offensive coordinator Kevin Stefanski, who joins us. And great job this season, first of all. And secondly, the ballyhooed and highly hyped atmosphere of the Superdome. You've been with this team a decade and a half, so you've heard it when it's at its loudest. How do you overcome it?
Well, I think we go in there with a plan, and our guys are very keenly aware that what they're about to walk into. And it's a loud building. Their fans do an outstanding job. We know that, and it's our job to function and to play good football regardless of the crowd noise. I think we'll work with crowd noise during practice. Coach Zim will crank that noise up, and it'll be hard. And I think that's the point. We want to make it hard on ourselves on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then be ready to function on Sunday.
I think it's cliche or it's obvious for those to talk about the quarterback hearing your play call, and you'll see quarterbacks like that. What about from upstairs, your staff working with you, getting stuff to you? Is that hard?
Well, luckily we get to wear those earpieces on there, so it comes in pretty clear from upstairs. So I think the communication as a staff is still good. Now, we've spoken about when you do go on the road and it does get loud, and especially as you get down into the red zone, you need to have great communication.
Yeah.
And when it gets louder in the building, we have to be even more clear with our communication. So certainly it has to do with our offensive staff, and then it permeates right through our team.
Kirk Cousins, quarterback for the Vikings, in this matchup against this defense. Do you like the matchup for the quarterback?
I think Kirk needs to go out and play how he's played all year and play solid football. And I think what he's done really well is spread the ball around. You've seen a bunch of games where different guys have touched the ball, and I think we're built that way because we have some depth at really every one of our positions. So Kirk's going to go out there and perform how he's performed all year, and I think he'll be up for the challenge.
With Dalvin Cook, Kevin, when you don't have Dalvin, what are some non-obvious major components that you miss?
Well, I think Dalvin's a special player, as everyone knows, and he has that home run threat. And he may hit some singles and doubles, but then he may go for a home run. So I think without him, certainly you lose a little bit of that aspect. Having said that, you just saw what Mike Boone did in this last ball game. Amir's made plays for us, and Alexander Madison, our young rookie. So we feel confident in our group. While maybe no one is the caliber of Dalvin Cook, there's not many Dalvin Cooks in the National Football League. So Dalvin's special with the ball in his hands, been extremely special in space. You've seen when he gets the ball out in the perimeter, whether the screen game or tossing it to him, he's made a lot of people miss, and it's pretty impressive.
Kevin, I know in a game that generally will have, 60, 70, 75 plays, New Orleans defense, there are multiple ways they'll play defense, but how do they like to play defense? Like, what's their identity?
I'd say it's multiple. To their credit, they've been together as a group for a long time with Dennis Allen and some of these players. So they can be multiple on third down. As I'm just watching some of that tape, I mean, they can line up all over the place and bring pressure from all over the place. So I think what's interesting and what's impressive about this group is how many different ways they can play you. And I think that speaks to them being together for so long.
With Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs not playing in the Bears game, so they've I don't want to say had a week off because they were going through practice and the whole thing, but how raring to go in this spot are Diggs and Thielen? Yeah,
very much so. And really going back to last week, I will tell you, they got a tremendous amount of work done during practice. Just Kirk, Stefan, and Adam off to the side running routes. And then pregame, they went through a pregame warm-up, and then they went through another warm-up. So they worked really hard last week to make sure they were sharp so that when we hit the ground running on Wednesday, we can take off. But those guys, it's the playoffs. It's all our guys are excited and ready to go.
Irv Smith Jr., your rookie tight end, he's a New Orleans native. So he made on his 21st birthday, preseason at New Orleans, he's playing. He had his first catch.
Right.
And then now, here we go all the way to January. And Irv Smith Jr., youngest player in the NFL, is back in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So he wants to shine, and there are no guarantees anybody's going to shine in a situation like this. But overall, from that time in August, his birthday, to where he is now, how far has he come?
Yeah, I think it's just a great testament to hard work. And I think Irv, for being a young player, really right away kind of understood how to be a pro. I think it's helped having Kyle Rudolph in his room to kind of show him the ropes. Brian Periani and he spend a lot of time together in the meeting room, out on the practice field. So it's like anything else. You put the work in and you start to see it pay dividends. with a player like Irv, it's been very impressive from a physical standpoint, what he's able to do in the pass game and the run game, but how much we load him up mentally, not a lot of guys can handle that, and he does.
So playing in these huge games at Alabama, this atmosphere, granted it's the NFL, they're bigger and faster, but I mean, he's been part of this.
That's absolutely true, and I'll talk to him before the games, and he has that very real confidence because he's been there, he's played in these big games, and I don't think anything's too big for him.